Dabbleverse stuff, mumbling, pineapple stuff, dabbling, controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. NICK mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air, cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jonesing for your fix of that dabble politics mix. So where the fudge you at, punk? Shut the fudge up and back the fudge up while we fudge this track up. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, back out, tell me what you're gonna touch now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time, so you better get some better views and get saved up on your dime. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabblers blasting up a political shit. The asking for shit, put bounce in the dabble pit. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you're gonna touch now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 Hey ladies, where you at? Hey fellas, where you at? And the dabblers that don't give a fuck, where you at?
Welcome everybody to second ever episode of Dabbling in Politics. I am Mumbling Nick, and with me is my partner, Liquid Cryptid. Glad to have you back. Oh, there he is.
No crystals involved.
No, yep, no cryptid. Whatever they have. Two people got it wrong: a pineapple and an old man, but that's all right. We're here. Appreciate anybody who is here. I know there's I want to thank you, Tits McGee. That was a very nice thing to say. We're a new show and we're going against TYT tonight after John's return, so maybe not the brightest time slot for this week, but whatever. We're here to have fun, and if anyone's not
TSN.
here, what did I just say?
You said TYT.
TYT. Well, I gave away one of the shows I used to watch right there. The Young Turks. Yeah, I actually don't watch them too much anymore, but they were one of the early ones I used to watch. Yes, TSN.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I'm glad you did, because I didn't realize what I even said. Off note, earlier today, I had to go for a little walk, and I started smelling smoke, and I saw there was a field near my house that was on fire. So I called 911 or whatever, and then after the fire department came, I taped it. And I accidentally swore like 3 times, and I was going to post this, and I only noticed after the third swear. I was like, "Oh, sorry, guys." And then when I posted it, I go on these little rants, and I don't even realize what I say half the time. So I don't know. Apparently, I just did that with TYT.
Well, those are the best rants, to tell you the truth. The ones that just come, straight off your head. What you're feeling.
Total total stream of consciousness, I guess. All right. I believe for tonight's topics, we are going to talk about, I don't know, you can pick first. We're going to try and talk
Zelensky.
Zelensky. We'll go Zelensky first. The other one will be Epstein.
Zelensky getting the boot out of the White House, unceremoniously dismissed as being nothing. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Okay. So to be fair, to be honest, I should say, this is not that it's not important, but the Ukraine-Russia thing is not one of my top passionate issues at all.
Same.
But yeah, it is the hot thing in the news, so we'll definitely have to tackle it. And just to be even fair, I hated the way Biden treated this whole thing. I don't think Biden ever wanted peace or even pretended he wanted peace.
Very true.
I have my theory on what Trump is doing here, but just interested, what did you think of the whole thing besides hilarious? Do you think we're in trouble here? You think we're close to the World War III? What do you think?
Well, when all this first started, I posted a video about why we really shouldn't care about the border disputes of former Soviet states. And basically, that's what it comes down to. Why do we care about the border disputes of former Soviet states? And this isn't even the first time Putin has taken over any territory from Ukraine either. Like it happened under Obama and whatnot. And we didn't care, didn't even know.
Right. Yep.
So why we got into this, I don't know, where was I going? What I originally said was, in the very first video that I made was, sure, humanitarian aid, fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, we should give any humanitarian aid that we can, but that should be the end of it, because this is going to end us up in a quagmire of where we're going to end up having to fight Russia, which we don't want to do.
Right.
And here we are.
You may agree with me on this. I have a feeling you actually might. I think a lot of why we get involved in this thing is obviously to feed the military industrial complex and got to keep funding them. Yeah, that's what the whole thing is. That's why Biden never wanted to get out. Trump, whether he wants to get out or not, peace, I don't know, but the whole mineral deal for Ukraine would give us what, $500 billion in minerals. Lithium being a big one, which coincidentally or not is what Tesla needs to fuel
all
their
battery companies need.
I know they do. Without giving away what I do, I am on a
I understand what you're getting at, though. Yeah,
battery safety response team. I don't want to give away too much what I do, but we build big tech things, and it's hilarious because I'm clumsy as shit, but I'm on the battery safety response team, so I know the difference between lithium batteries and the other batteries because there's different things we have to do. But yeah, it's all the billionaires. Hi, Deadpool. Thank you for showing up, my friend. I found out later. Deadpool. Remember we had like 2 or 3 people really into it last week. I believe Deadpool sent them this way. So thank you, Deadpool. I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
If you can find them, but I appreciate it.
They were spirited in the comments. I wish we would have actually.
Yeah, I felt we talked about that afterwards. Like I would have put a bunch of those comments up. I think it was the first show. We were just focused on, and we were all over the map.
Not sucking too much.
Yeah, we went from topic to topic, brain cramp to brain cramp. So yeah, it was interesting. So I have a question. I've heard the theory, and it's coming from left wing, to be fair. And I'll tell you what I think after you say. Do you think that Vance and Trump had this set up, like to begin with, like to have like an altercation, or do you think it just kind of happened organically?
I think it happened organically because it did remind me a lot of kind of myself when in similar situations and starting to lose patience with somebody. Because I watched the whole thing. Like at first, of course, I watched, the clip.
Right, yeah.
But then I watched the whole thing, and then they're going around and they're doing all their, their diplomacy stuff and talking about this and that or whatever, and can hardly understand what Zelensky's saying, but whatever. And it looked to me like they're, before the incident happened, that they were just, I think they're just getting tired of, like they're their patience with Zelenskyy had expired, is what it looks like to me. Because I don't know about you. I know you have kids.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to. I
No,
didn't mean
no,
for what you said.
it's not yeah.
But I find myself, getting in these situations, even with my family and stuff, where it's just like, listen, my patience is at an end here. This is the way it's going to be. This is the way it is. This is reality. Okay.
Yes.
And there's no amount of whatever you're trying to tell me, that is going to be real. This is reality. This is the way it is. That's what's going to happen. And that's what we're going to do. And I think that basically Trump just kind of got to that point. It's what it looked like to me. Because as I said, as I saw him doing, I'm like, dude, I've done that before, where I'm just listening to somebody just going, and then eventually just go, no, fuck you. No,
So
you're absolutely wrong.
I do agree. I don't think I don't think they planned that part of it, especially because Zelensky sort of, right or wrong, he it all kind of started from what I saw after he asked for, the whole guarantee thing for Vance. So I know some people think it was planned because Trump made the comment about his clothes or what. Like, it's just for my record, I don't care what anybody. I don't care that Elon dresses the way he dresses. I don't. Yeah, I could care less. But I think Vance was there because I think the only part that may have been planned was trying to get Zelensky to be thankful, because they brought that up a million times. And I remember when Trump was first president, his very first cabinet meeting, every cabinet member went around and thanked him. It was a whole big, you got to feed the narcissist orange man. So I think Elon, this is just my opinion, not Elon. I got Elon on the brain. I think Vance was there, sort of because Trump doesn't want to, like, it looks bad if you're trying to make the guy praise you or thank you yourself. So you bring on your little sidekick to do it. I think that's why Vance was there. I don't think there was a plan attack, sort of say. But just want to say hi to Vampire. So Vampire Hunter is one of
He's on Team Nick.
Oh, I just saw that. Yeah. Got to put that one up. All right. He's one of Eccles. I almost said Elon again. He's one of Eccles.
You really got Elon on the brain, dude.
He's one of I know he wasn't even at this meeting, and I'm talking.
Is Elon there in the room with you, Nick?
Blink twice. Yeah, he's Eccles, one of Eccles' big mods. So he puts the link up in the lot. So thank you, Vampire Hunter. He can be a little trolly sarcastic, so don't take anything he says. So he's a good guy, from what I see, and he's Team Nick, so he's got to be. He's at the White House.
Speaking of getting ego stroked,
this is the nicest he's ever been to me. I think because I gave him a shout out at the end of the show, end of Eccles' show today. Maybe now I stroked his ego. He stroked back. Yeah,
is at the White House right now.
Oh, yep.
So maybe we can get a video of him being unceremoniously removed.
He's going to be our own Brian Karam, I guess. Will give us the inside information. What's going on at the White House?
Oh, anyway, you were asking my opinion on something, and I think we lost track.
Okay.
What was it about?
I know I asked about if you thought it was planned.
Oh, Vance. If Vance was there.
Vance,
I remember. Yeah, he's talking about he's not appropriately appreciative of what has been, what he's been given. And I think he isn't. Zelenskyy has definitely bought into the narrative that has been spun around him. He's starting to believe, when people, he's now believes that his own farts don't stink. Which is basically what's happening. He's been told his farts don't stink for years now, and I think he actually believes it. He thinks he's going to walk into the United States and say, I need money and men and troops and stuff to stop this, and we're here in the United States saying, no, we don't want to be involved with that. But for some reason his attitude is that he is like deserving of our support. That's why even regardless of whether or not whatever Russia does, if we could get some mineral rights out of Ukraine, at least we're getting something,
right? So I do believe he is he's a little I'm not going to put him in the Trump category of the narcissism, but he's a little arrogant, and that could even come with him being an actor, comedian type thing, and now a world leader that gets praised all the time. So I'm not going to deny that. I and what I saw, it may have leaked from the I can't remember who leaked it, not leaked it, but I don't know. Maybe they both sides agree. But supposedly when he arrived at the White House, I believe they tried to get him to sign the whole mineral rights thing, and he was, well, wait a minute, what about the guarantees? And I think that's why he brought it all up. So I tried putting myself in his shoes, and you got Trump calling him a dictator and blaming him for starting the war. And then as soon as you show up, they want you to sign over like $500 billion worth of minerals for the 140, 150 billion you've received in help with no guarantees. Like maybe Putin stops while we loot the minerals for the billionaires, and then when we leave, he attacks again. So then Trump gets the brag that he looted their natural resources. I'm just saying, I don't blame him. Then I almost think
I
he
mean,
may have,
neither do I. But Putin's going to invade when Putin's going to invade. There's
right.
nothing. I mean, what can we do about it? Go to war with Russia? What would even be the point of that?
No, that's what I mean. There's no
You know?
answer to, and that's awful, stupid thing. It sucks to say in a political discussion show, but there's no right answer out of this. I don't think.
No, there isn't.
Yeah,
It's like unless we can, when Putin dies or gets deposed or whatever, we could put a puppet in there in Russia, maybe have some sort of puppet dictator leader, that will do our bidding, which I don't think is going to be happening.
right. Yeah,
but there's nothing. I mean, what can we do? We've already sanctioned the shit out of Russia. It's like we've already done everything we can do other than put boots on the ground to go fight Russia, which we're not going to do, which we don't want to do, which it would basically it would be World War III.
right. Yeah, that's why. Like I'm even someone who I sympathize way more with Ukraine, but I'm also like, if we keep doing this war is just going to keep going on and on and on. I also get Zelenskyy. It's like, all right, I'm negotiating. I used the analogy the other day where I was like, it's almost like someone breaks into your house, steals some of your property, kills some of your family members, and now you got to negotiate what part of your property they get to keep. And, so it's tough. But at some point, it's got to come to an end. But then if we let Putin get what he wants, then he'll just invade more countries or invade Ukraine some more. There's no way out of this where I don't know. I don't know how you get out of this.
Yeah, see, that's exactly the thing. There's no winning situation for Ukraine, and there never has been.
Right.
Because if there's no winning situation, if the United States gets involved with Russia, fighting Russia, I mean, we could win. It wouldn't be a great victory.
Yeah.
It would be pretty much Armageddon. But we would win. Now think, Ukraine, a former Russian state, or former Soviet state, they have there's no chance. There's never was a chance of them ever actually winning. And I think that's the problem that I think people are not understand. And the other just crazy thing about this whole situation is, I was thinking about this years ago, is I don't understand why Putin hasn't escalated anything.
Yeah, I remember, not to get off topic, I remember when I used to watch Stuttering John's political show, and every week Richard Ojeda would tell us how Ukraine's winning and they're gonna win. Like, I'm like, what are you watching, man?
An
They may
army, officer in the army,
right?
in
Like,
airborne rangers, sappers, an army officer is saying, "Oh, Ukraine is winning." It's like, what military were you in? I don't think it was the United States military.
I wish. I think I've told you it's my big goal to be on a thing with Army Major. I used to.
Oh yeah.
When I used to watch that guy, yeah, he was always a little crazy, but he was accurate. He was real. I don't know what the fuck happened to the guy. He's delusional now, man, and he's like, yeah, he used to be more like my beliefs, where, yeah, he was more liberal, but he would attack the Democrats all the time. Like now it's like the Democrats can't do any wrong, and he thinks Ukraine's winning some war than where the average median age of their military is 40, and they're way outmanned in every way. I don't know what they'd win these little small battles, and he thinks they're winning the whole war. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, he went a little crazy there with the Ukraine stuff for about like a year or two, especially
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning. He was always like giving the stats every day of all the Russian vehicles and men and stuff that were killed and Russian vehicles that were destroyed. And like you could only watch a couple of those episodes and go,
Right.
they go, no, not an extra 1,000 have been destroyed today. No, an extra dozen were destroyed today. He just keeps using numbers, that
Right.
are like from the beginning.
Yeah.
So he'd be like, "Oh, today another 1,000 tanks were destroyed." I'm like, I don't think they have 1,000 tanks.
Yeah.
It's like,
not to shit on to Trump, but I think most people can, even if you like Trump, he likes to exaggerate the numbers. Like with the whole condom thing, it was like 50 million the condoms to the country. Then it was then it was 50 million to fucking Hamas. Then it was 100 million for So Ojeda was acting like the guy he hates. He's just these fake fucking numbers he's coming up with, and I'm like, if you listen to him, you thought the war would have been over like 2 years ago and Ukraine would have won. But
yeah, right. You would think that Ukraine was invading Russia.
Right. And I'll throw you up here. Actually, when I first saw Ojeda, he used to go on TYT back in like 2015 or whatever when he was running for
Wait, who's that?
Congress. Ojeda, yeah. He wasn't he wasn't like a correspondent, but they used to have him on all the time when he was running, for Congress in West Virginia at the time. Now he's in one of the Carolinas, I believe. But yeah, that's where I first saw him like 10 years ago, and he was more normal. Like I shouldn't say that he was never normal, but he was more.
He was never normal, but he was,
he was more reasonable. I guess I should say. He was more factual. I don't know what the fuck he's saying now. I mean, you used to watch. I would just correct them on the Ukraine thing, and all of a sudden I was you, or not even you. I was MAGA fucking. I was Elon. I was a MAGA Trump supporter to the 10 max. I'm like, Ojeda, I agree with you on 90% of this shit. It's just you got to be real, man. Like Ukraine isn't going to win this fucking war.
The winning is when the fighting stops. It doesn't matter what territory has been taken. When the soldiers of Ukraine, Russia, they're all Russians, by the way.
Right? Yeah, true. Yeah.
There's no Ukraine. It's all Russia.
Oh God.
I know that's semi-controversial, but
yeah,
it's all Russia.
Right.
So anyway, once they stop killing each other, that's the win. It doesn't matter the amount of territory. As I was saying before, it doesn't matter the amount of territory that Putin takes, because nobody's going to defend it. Nobody's going to start World War III over, some pieces of Ukraine. And basically, as I said, an ex-Soviet state border dispute.
Yeah. Do you have any predictions? So I mean, I think we could both probably agree on this, that this helped Russia in the negotiation process. If they even want to negotiate at this point, they may just want to keep going now if the U.S. isn't going to help. But
Zelenskyy certainly wants to keep going, and I think that's the other part of it was, Trump's trying to say, we need peace, we need to stop the fighting, and Zelensky's over here saying, no, we need money and troops. And I think that's where Trump, especially with, Zelenskyy trying to say, you have this ocean that protects you, but it's not going to protect you forever. And it's like, no, it's not the ocean that's protecting us from Russia, by the way.
Right.
It's our overwhelming military force.
Yeah, I was torn on that one because I don't know. Like I'm not really that. Maybe I think I under worry about countries attacking us, to be honest with you, or World War III. I don't really even think about that shit at all. But I just, and I don't know what's in Zelensky's heart. I think I'm trying to figure out if he just really wants to keep going because he thinks he can win this fucking thing, or if it's he's trying to make the point where, we've done these ceasefires, nobody listens. Now you want to come take all my natural resources with no guarantees. So I don't know. It's tough to figure out.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like it's a no-win.
Yeah.
There's no winning for Ukraine. First off, there's as far as Russia. I don't even know what they want. I don't know why Putin's even invading.
Right. Yeah.
I think he said something about like NATO encroachment that he's worried about or something like
Yeah.
that.
I remember it was NATO encroachment at one point. I think he was taking out all the Nazis or something like that. Which I'm not saying there's not Nazis in Ukraine, but Russia's got Nazis, and I don't think Putin had a problem with them. So
Yeah. So,
yeah, who knows the most reasons. What do we got here? TSN live. All the boomers are busy. Yeah, it's all right, buddy. We know we got the cool people in here. We got you. We got Deadpool.
so TSN is live, so I gotta go.
Yeah, it's all good. I don't think there's TSN is not going to be our crowd anyway. Well, some of them, but yeah,
Some of them, but
yeah.
there's always the rewatch and the VODs. And
Right.
everything, so
That's all. Like I said, even if nobody watches live, I wish people would, but if nobody does, we'll get some rewatches or whatever. It's a slow build. I've stumbled upon shows where.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's me. I stumbled upon like live shows where I'm like, I click on it and I'm like, one person, that's me. So like this guy was live to nobody until I stumbled upon this thing. So there are worse,
Yeah.
we're building it.
And also as Deadpool says, most countries don't have the long range resupply chain to reach us, and that's true.
Yeah.
Even if you come through Mexico and Canada and have Mexican and Canadian support, if we're being attacked by a foreign country, not only do they not have the long range long range resupply chain, but I saw this thing. It's just one of those what if scenarios. What if the entire world attacked the United States? We could literally take control or destroy the entirety of the world's oil supply within a week. And we have our own oil supply.
Right.
So we can take out we can either capture or destroy the source of the world's oil within a week. And then you could just sit back and defend until they've just run out of gas.
Yeah. That's why I don't worry too much about things. I've even heard like we can shut off electrical grids. Other countries could probably shut off ours. It's almost like a mutual. Nobody wants to fucking totally destroy fucking everything. So you feel safe. Not to get off. Oh, just want to thank you.
I think that just took me off topic. There was an interesting video that I saw a couple of years ago that just sort of stuck with me with the whole, sometimes it's just something you didn't think of when you're like, oh, we have overwhelming military force. That's how, we're not being attacked. But then, somebody says, oh, no. It's just, we can just remove oil from everybody.
I remember
we have our own supplies and they can't get to it.
Right.
So, and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
As a kid, my father, and I know fathers tell you things just to make you feel safe, but I truly believe my father believed this, that he thought like no one could ever get to us or attack. Like 911 was like I wasn't a kid, I was a young adult, but it was a shock to him. And he totally believes that nobody, I think we have this invincibility cloak or delusion around us sometimes, but like you said, we have, there's a reason for it, because the retaliation wouldn't be good for people. And we got that big ocean too. So
and the ocean does help. Yeah. The oceans do help. I'm not saying they don't, but
especially with today's radar technology, we can pick up on whatever the hell's coming our way.
Forget radar, satellite technology.
Right. Yeah.
You just watch them. Oh, hey, they just launched something. Okay, they're over here. Okay, we took them out. Now we get to fight back.
All right, let's see. Yeah, that's my brain cramp. I had like another question lined up like 5 minutes ago, and now I forget what it was.
Let's see. We were talking about the Zelenskyy and whether or not I thought that they had any kind of a chance.
Yeah,
I still say, I still maintain, like, I've never changed my position that we should have just stuck with humanitarian aid.
Yeah,
called it a day. Oh, now he's not. Now he's over in Europe, and they're all promising troops and money and stuff. They're actually promising troops, like military
feet on the ground. Yeah,
military feet on the ground. And I'm like, we need to run from NATO. We
Ugh.
need, especially any sort of mutual defense agreements. We need to run away because right now they are the girlfriend that's fucking with this other dude, expecting us to defend her.
Yeah, man, it's a tough one. And Elon, I know I don't like you, and so far I've been proven right, but prove me wrong. Go after the fucking Pentagon and fucking start gutting that fucking thing, man. These
Yeah, as I
7
said in a
audits. Yeah.
previous shit, like I'd like to let them hit that one real hard. But as I said in the previous in our previous show, that's like one of those things where it legitimately is, direct congressional appropriations. Like the stuff he's going after now are contracts, that they can't actually dismiss, because it's part of the executive branch
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But like the military is a little more difficult. But yeah, I can't wait for Elon to target Doge, and then the targeting the IRS ended up becoming nothing. I
Yeah.
was hoping to be a lot funnier than it was.
I was watching the not to get off topic, but the news the other day when all the USAID employees were leaving. It looked, and number one, I don't think I saw a male in there. It was like everyone's everyone's aunt, grandmother, and mother like must like worked at this agency, just like walking out with their flowers, and it was kind of depressing, man. Like I talking about all the projects that they were working on that got shut. I know it's aid or whatever. It's other countries, but I don't know. I wish they went after the Pentagon first instead of like an agency that may help like sick children in another country get vaccinated and shit like that. But it is what it
Well,
is, I guess.
yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, even before our other thing, that goes back to, you're replying to Gino, replying to you,
Yeah. Oh,
replying to your chats where it's like, okay, I'm sure he's going to get there. So maybe, it's not the priorities that you would like. I
yeah.
mean, obviously, I would also like, for him to go after the Pentagon 100%, absolutely.
On
But
a
I think they're just going, as I said, I think they're going after the stuff that they can just do right now, and not the stuff where it's going to be these long. I mean, how many audits has the DoD passed? So imagine, what they're already finding, in the bullshit, what they're finding currently in the current systems. Now imagine trying to rifle through, the Pentagon.
I read the other day, I wish I could remember the number, but I swear the last audit they failed, they couldn't account for like 60% of them. Like it was over 50% of like their money. It was fucking it was worse than I remembered. I was like, what the fuck?
And the thing is, that doesn't even surprise me.
Yeah.
I'm not even like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Like,
It was
no, it's like, yeah, well, yeah. That's my reply to that. It's like, yeah.
I also we'll get back on track, but I also read another article where they have advisors to Doge, and one of the advisors works for this company where they try and get a hard to find data on real estate or homeowners, and this guy's investigating HUD. So I'm like, oh my god. So it's like this guy's just gonna loot. Like I know they're gonna get rid of some waste, but I'm some of the people involved. I don't know. Like I almost rather have big balls involved because he doesn't. I don't think he gives a fuck than some CCO or whatever the fuck for some real estate dot net company that wants like people's information they can get from HUD. But that's another topic for another day. I was just reading the article like earlier today, so it was stuck on my mind.
They're fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this bullshit Epstein thing.
That could be a fun one. Thank you, team. Thank you,
I
Vampire
saw that.
Hunter.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like I don't care how they give it away. I think it was ridiculous that they gave it to these influencers. I agree with you on that. It was fucking stupid. But then they open up the binder and it's just like redacted. It's just blocks and lines, and I'm like,
Yeah.
did somebody miss the memo here?
Right. And what I what I read is that what they did release was something Gawker or somebody released like 10 years ago, except they redacted even more of it or something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And then I think like his phone book or his little personal
His Rolodex
phone numbers
thing.
or whatever. Yeah. Which that's a tricky one because so this is just my personal opinion. Obviously, I don't know. people who are on the flight log are very suspect to me. Just because you're in his phone book, I'm not saying you're innocent, but I'm willing to give you a little wiggle room because maybe you met this dude at a party with a bunch of other rich people and you didn't know who the fuck he was or something. But
Well, yeah, I mean, well, these wealthy people like that, they all run in the same circles.
right,
So
yeah,
but being that one of them was a terrible pedophile like Epstein is probably not even
no,
unusual.
right.
Uh,
I forget there was
so, but they all do business together. They all do business with each other and stuff like that. That's why I'm like, just because Trump chartered one of his planes to go from like what was it, like New York to Florida or something, like whatever, who cares? They all charter each other's planes. They all
yeah,
use each other's stuff. They all stay at each other's places because they all run in the same group. They all run it. It's a big club and we're not in it.
yeah, Mr. Carlin, one of his best.
And
Yeah, I go on. Sorry.
so just being in contact, having pictures with, going to parties with, um, I've never really put much stock into that because, as I said, these are all wealthy, powerful people that are all trying to be wealthier, powerfuler people who all hang out with each other and they're going to mingle and
Yeah, yeah.
their associations don't really matter much to me other
I'm trying.
than, specific, factual things like, you know, this guy went to, was it Little St. James Island?
Right.
you know, maybe something did or didn't happen there, but if there's a flight log saying that somebody went there, now I'm suspicious.
Yeah, I know where, and I don't know if you agree or not, but I truly believe that. Okay, if I had to guess, yeah, I think Trump is one of the people, but I also think Bill Clinton. Like, I don't think this is a left right thing, and it's because
Oh,
they're
no.
on the list and because of their behavior. I mean, obviously, Bill's fucking, he's a creepo. Uh, Trump also, and the whole. I know a lot of people may not put a lot of stock into this, but his Miss Teen USA quote always creeped me out, where he bragged about going in the locker room with these underage girls and everything. Go ahead.
Did
Go
not
ahead.
happen.
Come on. So he lied about it. He bragged about going into a.
No, he bragged about it. It was funny because I actually looked this up.
Okay.
This is one of the few things that I actually looked up when I was watching one of your videos,
Mm.
and I was like, I actually don't know anything about this. I better look it up. So anyway, no, he actually bragged on Stern
Stern. Yeah.
that he was able, as the owner of the Miss Universe contest, that he could go backstage. He never said anything about the teen thing. Was it Miss Teen USA? Yeah, he never bragged about going backstage for
So I
any
must
of
have
that.
combined
He was a couple of the girls
the accusers. Yeah.
stated
Yeah.
accused him,
Yeah.
and then but when they questioned like all the other girls that were there at the exact same time in the exact same room that they are accusing Trump of being there, everybody else said no, he didn't go in there. I don't remember him ever coming in.
All right. I'll have to look more because I do remember the girls. There's two of them, I believe, that accused him of
Yeah,
it or whatever.
it
Yeah.
was two, and then nothing was
Yeah.
ever corroborated. But
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not creepy
No, I
that
know
he
what you're
could be
saying. Yeah.
going
Yeah.
into. Okay, he was bragging on Stern in the
Right.
early
Right.
parts about it. I mean, that's
And
what you do on Stern
I have
anyway.
thought about that too because, like, I mean, that's where he said some of his worst shit about his daughter was on Stern too, because of the way the fucking show is. But yeah, it's I don't know, just the whole like he's what was his name? Steve Bannon. I've brought this up before that when Trump ran in the first time, he made the comment the only one Trump's going to win or something, the only one that could take him down is Epstein, and they were friends for all these years. I truly believe, like, I want to be wrong about this one because I don't care who the fuck is on this list. I want them like Kevin Spacey was one of my favorite actors ever. The guy's a fucking piece of shit. I'm not gonna say he's not. You
Yeah,
know what I
he
mean?
is
No,
a
it is what it is.
degenerate.
Yeah. So it doesn't change the way I feel about his acting, but it certainly changes the way I feel about him. I'm not gonna like blindly defend the fucking guy.
Uh,
But,
yeah, I don't think Trump is on the list,
okay.
and I say that for a couple of reasons. The first one being that when Epstein did first start getting investigated for sex trafficking, Trump was actually the only person that came forward with information without a subpoena. He voluntarily came forward and gave all the information he had, everything he had on Epstein, because by that point he had already kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago for being
the
inappropriate with the teenage daughter of one of the members.
members, yeah.
And I guess that was like a really big thing at the time in that world. So that's basically one of the big reasons why I think Trump isn't on the list,
Okay.
because he did exactly what you and I would do if we, ended up our buddy over here or somebody that we worked with. We found out, oh, he's a great big creepo pedophile. I'm going straight to the cops. Here's everything I know about him.
Right.
And that's exactly what Trump did. And I think that speaks a lot for where Trump is on this. Now, as far as who else is on this, yeah, everybody. If he is on the list, I would be surprised.
Okay.
But we definitely need to see everybody who is on this list, and I think that that's not going to happen.
No, and I don't want to get back to the old topic, but when Trump said the Zelenskyy thing was great television, part of me thought like, oh, good, because he was even getting shit from some MAGA people for how that Epstein thing was treated the day before. So all of a sudden, that wasn't the number one story in the news cycle anymore. It was all about Zelenskyy. But his whole general behavior and the fact that he was friends with Epstein for all those years, I find it hard to believe that. I mean, like that he just wouldn't, he didn't partake. Like, why would he hang out with this guy for 15 years or more?
Well, he probably didn't. I mean, there's also different levels of friends, I guess I should say. Like, it seems to me like I don't know any specifics, of course, but it seems to me like in those sort of circles you have friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're friendly with this guy because this guy can get you something, and he's friendly with you because you can get something. And yeah, you hang out, you go to parties, you do the socializing and all that stuff. But that doesn't mean you're like friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you
And I think that's probably closer to their relationship. Like I don't know, man. I'm not a billionaire.
Right. We don't know.
It's hard for me to imagine having, an actual like my best friend if I was a billionaire. What would that look like?
I was thinking all the ESO comparisons all of a sudden for TSN. If Shirley didn't know. Do you think, well, I will say this before I get to that. The way the phase 1 went does not, it doesn't help me think that Trump is innocent, because Pam Bondi claimed she had all these documents on her desk, and then, so she either lied about that or she's covering for something and covering for somebody. Like, I don't know why, like, they just can't get these fucking things out. I don't, what. I get you got to redact the victims. I agree with that. But other than that, I want everything else,
Yeah, absolutely. And I just thought it was absolutely weird how they are like, okay, we're putting them out, and then it's all redacted. It's like nobody looked. Oh, it's the government, so of course nobody looked at it. Yeah. Nobody looked at it and said, because you know what happened? Somebody just said, make copies of these files that are in this area, and then some drone went and took files, bindered them up, and tossed them out to places. They don't care. They didn't see it. They didn't look at it. Nobody opened it up and said, well, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they probably should have, but it's government. So
so I know the theory they're coming up with is the FBI, and I just don't know why a bunch of FBI agents would, and you can correct me, why they would care so much about, I mean, unless they're friends with the people on the list, I don't know why they would want to cover for these, risk their own jobs and their whatever to cover for a bunch of rich fucking pedophiles. I think it's just, pedophilia is a weird one, man. It's something obviously everyone is against in theory, but it's like I'm from the Boston area and the Catholic churches up here. Holy shit. And people still go to fucking church, and people still support. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in Boston, they don't have a
Yeah.
real good track record there.
No,
The
we were
Catholic Church.
the worst and the first or whatever. And people still go, man. I'm telling you, there's still Catholics going to church. It's, I don't know. So I never have any faith. It's almost like, I'm not saying people, obviously pedophilia is like the worst fucking thing in the world, but it's almost like if it's someone else doing it, people attack. But if it's their guys, they cover, or it's very weird.
Oh, I don't. I honestly, 100% believe the reason why we'll never know these names is simply because there's too much power, too much
Right.
money, too much power involved, too much higher echelons of the government, of power and whatnot. Like, so yeah, I don't.
Do you
It's
do you think?
it's.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just I forget the word now. Shit. All right, the Israeli version of the CIA. Do you think there's speculation Epstein was that? Do you think he is? Do you think he's like a secret agent for Israel?
Yeah, I forgot.
Begins with an H, I think, or an M.
Mossad.
Mossad. Yeah, Mossad. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. It's
Right.
like all these all these theories and ideas and stuff are like, oh, Epstein, yeah, yes, vampire hunter D. Moses. He's definitely a part of Moses.
I never knew Wendy was a big political fan. Nice to see you, Wendy. Sorry, I got distracted. But
Was that Wendy?
yeah, slow adult Wendy. Oh,
Yeah.
She goes by these
I thought
days.
she went by Wendy.
Well, it used to be something a lot less PC, but yeah, it's good, Wendy. Oh, we got Rochi. We're fucked. Oh boy.
And now Rochi's here. So now that Rochi's here, it's been great, y'all. Have a good night. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we could talk about how his country gave Zelenskyy a bunch of money, I believe.
Wait, where's Rochi from?
He's from the UK.
Oh, okay.
He's British.
I'm sorry.
Nope, it's all right.
I'm sorry, Rochi. I mean, we can't all be great. The world does need ditch diggers still. Anyway.
But that was our first topic, so we can't get back to that. All right, where were we?
But yeah, I'm just amazed that that there were people involved in getting these Epstein files released and out and put out and looked at it, and with all the redaction, and said, yeah, this is okay.
God,
as if everybody is going to accept this as being all right. It's like, oh, they released it, it's heavily redacted, but hey, they released it, so it's okay. It's like, no, whatever. I don't see how people got it, looked at it and said, yeah, this is all right. Like Pam Bondi said she saw it, right? Before releasing it.
It's so bad. I find myself agreeing with Laura Loomer, who is, I mean, I know like right-wingers who think she's a nut job. So you figure what I think of the woman.
Oh, she's an absolute she's a maniac.
So, and I'm not saying her intentions are pure on what she's saying right now, but I'm sure part of her was a little butthurt not being one of the chosen influencers who got this stupid binder. But they would have been better off coming up with some excuse and releasing nothing than releasing this, like I said, redacted 10-year-old stuff that we've already fucking seen.
Or at least, or at least if Bondi came out and said, we pulled the files, we made the binders, and look at this. This is what we're dealing with here.
Right. Or something. Yeah.
It said, we're missing a bunch of stuff. This is just redacted bullshit. We're not leasing this. We're getting to the bottom of, whatever is happening. I guess, as you said, I guess they're saying like the FBI decided not to give them a bunch of information. There's like a bunch of shit that wasn't included or whatever for whatever reason. But that should have been, immediately. Like,
right.
That's what gets me is like, well, they release it. Bondi says she saw it, but still released it. And then when everybody goes, this is bullshit, she goes, yeah, this is bullshit. What's going on? It's like, you knew.
Right.
You knew.
Yeah, somebody said the FBI. I think she was like, "Oh, the Southern District of New York screwing me too," or whatever. It's like, well, why didn't you say that instead of releasing the shit? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, as I said, it should have been got on camera. Maybe with Trump and Vance standing beside her. Hold up the binder and say, "This is the bullshit I'm dealing with."
with like
We're trying to release this, but this is the bullshit I'm dealing with.
This is a problem because even though I know I don't think he's going to release it anyway, but even if he could, he promised to release it day one, and this isn't something you can release on day one. It's you got to go through all the fucking whatever, how many pages there is, and get all the victims out and all this shit, and yeah, it's just I don't know, but and he could have done it the fucking first time he was some of it anyway. First time he was fucking president, so I don't know. I just don't. The powers that be do not want this release. There's too many powerful people with too much to lose, and there's just going to be always one excuse after another, and trying to blame whoever the fuck they can blame. And it just, I don't think we're ever going to see the JFK shit, but I think we have a better shot of seeing the JFK fucking files than we do this shit because these people are all still alive. Yeah.
And most of those people aren't alive anymore.
Right. So that's yeah. Oh yeah. Recently, the forget the gentleman's name, but the Secret Service guy who jumped on the back of the limo, he guess he was still alive, which I couldn't believe when JFK was assassinated. The one who I think jumped on Mrs. Kennedy there. He recently died a couple weeks ago. So there can't be anyone left at this point. Just release this shit.
Yeah, it's like, so who cares? Yeah, like, but yeah, I mean, from what Cash Patel said, there's not really much that we don't already know from the JFK stuff, which it seems reasonable to me. But yeah, that Epstein stuff was just an absolute debacle.
Yeah, just I don't know. It couldn't have. And now it's like I don't know about you. I haven't heard anything since.
Well, it's been the weekend, and the government doesn't really work on the weekend.
But I just meant they gave 8 a.m. Friday. She wanted all the documents, and I don't know if she got them or anything. You know what I mean? I never heard anything after that. Like,
yeah, I didn't hear anything about that at all. No.
It happened on Thursday, so she's like demanded to Patel that he get her everything by 8 a.m. and then doing a 2-week investigation. So obviously you can't do much on the investigation front, but she could at least be like, I got everything, or I didn't get everything. It was nothing. Then Zelenskyy, and then Mar-a-Lago, and then Vermont for JD Vance, and nothing. So I don't know. The only one Laura Loomer's asking for it, I see on X, which is the only one. So I don't know. It would have been nice to know if like she got what she needed, if she didn't get what she needed, if this is all bullshit, just stalling, which is what I'm guessing. I'm guessing they're trying to figure out a way out of this because they can't release it. They can, but because of all the powerful people involved, they don't want to. And they don't want the American people to know that they want to protect these powerful people. So they're just trying to find someone to fucking blame it on. And right now it's the FBI, the Southern District of New York. But I don't know, Pam Bondi, but we'll have to figure something out.
Yeah, there's definitely, I completely agree with you. There's definitely something going on here to where, they're trying to move the story away from these files, sort of kind of say like, oh yeah, we released them, remember, 2 years ago we released them. Why are you still asking about it?
There's always something. Rochi, I wish we had a Labor Party in our country. We don't have one, but I could talk about yours, but I'm going to be honest. I don't know enough about it. I know you're just joking with me, but yeah. I'm pulling one of my famous, can't think of the guy's name. There's actually a former leader of the Labor Party I used to really like. I don't believe the party's the same as it used to be, but I am no
isn't that that's the UK party where all the men like to watch other guys fuck their wives, right?
I don't know. They all have according to Rochi and Eckel, everyone's married to an Indian woman in the UK. That's the big thing. So could be a lot of.
I'm sorry, I was making a very bad cook joke.
I was gonna make a curry. Okay, I was sorry. It went right over my head. No, I don't like Tony Blair. I may be thinking of the wrong party now. You guys
Tony
are like
Blair's Labor?
No, I didn't think he was. Yeah, All
Oh,
right.
I thought he was
I'm gonna keep stalling. Let me see if I can think of the guy I used to like. If he was the Labor Party. I know. I love Rochi, but I got a feeling well, you never know. He could be more he's actually he's very intelligent, so he may know more about this shit than he lets on, you know.
and I would assume that anybody knows more about this shit than I do. And I
Yeah, like I was
definitely
gonna
know
say,
more about European politics than I do. I
yeah,
don't know a damn thing about it.
I okay, Jeremy Corbyn, that's the guy I used to like. All right, I think. Was it? Maybe it wasn't. I believe it was, yes. Jeremy Corbyn. Now they got this other fucking guy in who I'm not going to try and pronounce that name, but yeah, I think he took the party in another direction. But I don't know a lot about it, so I believe Jeremy Corbyn was their version of Bernie Sanders, so that's why I didn't mind the guy. He was,
Uh,
one of those types. So he wouldn't be a fan. So, but yeah,
yeah, there was a time where I did pay a little more attention to uh, European politics, but that's mostly when American politics just gets boring.
right. I just pay attention to and I find out afterwards, but when the elections happen, like, okay, Italy now has like a fucking crazy, Nazi type, and then okay, Germany just had their election and their crazy Nazi type came in second, so we're okay. But I don't know a lot going into it. I just wish we had multiple parties like with real chances, like those countries do, instead of the fucking uniparty we fucking have.
Oh, I
Uh,
agree. That's actually why I am registered and mostly vote libertarian.
okay.
Is specifically not because I am a libertarian,
Right. Yeah.
but because they have the closest chance of getting, a seat at the table right now. And they have, well, for about the past 15 years, they're the only third party that has a real chance at having, the numbers necessary to get a seat at the table. And just having, a third party, a third sort of opinion in there is worthwhile on its own, even if you don't expect I don't expect to ever have a libertarian president, and in fact I hope we don't.
It's
I will
5% of the
say,
vote, then, right?
yeah, something like that. It's like
Yeah.
5% of the vote and
Yeah.
like 15% polling or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
It's like
There's
some kind of combination.
and
Yeah.
and they're within like several percent of
Mhm.
everything they need in order to have an actual seat at the debate table here in the United States, which that's what I'm about.
Right.
Let's throw a wrench into this
Oh,
works because it needs it.
100%. Yeah. In 2016, my wife voted libertarian. Uh, Ironically, because no, she was a big Bernie Sanders supporter like me, but obviously he didn't make it. And she is it sounds gonna sound weird, but she is someone who vapes. So and vaping was on the line at that time,
No.
and the libertarian was the only one who was she kind of became a one issue voter that year. Um, and then I voted. I usually vote Green Party, but they're falling the wrong way now, man. Like, yeah, I know the Libertarian definitely has a better shot than the Green Party to
Yeah, I haven't
become
heard
more.
much from the Green Party actually in a long time. But it used to be
Yeah,
pretty,
right.
it
They
used to
were.
be like, yeah, it was like Libertarian on the right and Green Party on the
Yeah,
left if you,
yeah.
for your third party. But I haven't heard much about the Green Party in a while.
Nah, they need a new. I mean, they had what's his name, Ralph Nader all those years, but Doctor what's her? Is she a doctor? I'm blanking. But yeah, the one they've had the last two times, I'm not even a fan of
What's
her.
the
Like you,
name? Yeah, yeah.
I'm just voting because trying to get the party on. Because obviously they have no. I live in a blue state anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
Polls close it.
I live in
Poll,
a way represented area as well. So
gotcha. Yeah,
regardless of which way I
Jill
vote,
Stein.
it's either yeah, a drop in the puddle or a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, right. I
So
still remember.
I might as well vote libertarian to get a third wheel going.
I think it had to be 2016 because 2020.
Oh, Jill Stein,
Jill
Vampire
Stein.
Hunter
Yeah, I
D.
just saw
Yeah,
that. Yep. Good job.
yeah.
Yeah, 2020, I voted by mail because of the silly pandemic thing. But yeah, 2016, the polling place is literally like a 15-minute walk. So it was a nice day. So I voted right before they closed. By the time I got home, they'd already called it for Hillary, my state. You know what I mean? Like in the
Yeah,
15
yeah.
minutes it took me to walk home because, of course.
I mean,
So
grew up in California. I will say that, and it's always been the same way out there. You know, it's as soon as the polls close, boom, whoever the Democrat was won.
Yeah, right.
They don't even. It's like, why bother counting?
Yeah, and so this will be interesting questioning as we're winding down. Are you in favor of keeping our voting as we do it, or do you think we should go to the the total vote, or do you think we should keep doing it where only like a handful of states decide the election?
I mean, that's kind of tough, right? Because there's no perfect
Right.
sort of voting method. Like if we do like was it a popular one where I think like in Australia, where they basically you have a list of like 5 and put which one you want at what level.
Ranked choice voting, I think they call it.
We're choice voted like that. You end up whoever gets elected really didn't have a majority of the votes.
Right.
They didn't have any kind of majority of votes. They had just had more votes. So that's not exactly a great system.
Yeah.
But then our first to the finish line, our first across the finish line system here, that isn't great either.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like there is no perfect system. Like, I guess the best quote I can give is from Starship Troopers, the book, not the movie, the book.
Okay.
Where the system we have in place now is the best system we have because it's the one that works for now.
Gotcha.
It's the one that's working. What else can we do about it?
I'm actually just glad, believe it or not, that Trump won both the popular vote and the electoral vote, because I always get sick of like I was when Hillary lost in 2016 and I got more of the popular votes. Like, well, that's not how it ran. Say what you want about Trump, he went to the states that mattered. He hit the ground where it mattered. Where you took it, like that's how whatever the system is, you have to fight within that system. I'm not a fan of the system, but that's what it is. So you gotta, then you can't use it as a fucking excuse when you fucking lose. So
yeah, exactly. And yeah, of course, the whole popular vote thing. Well, a lot of that comes down to if we want to talk about this as a subject that I like, because I remember growing up that I think there's only like a couple of states that were all or nothing with the electoral votes. They always split them.
Yeah.
Now it's like there's only a couple of states that are not all or nothing.
Right. Yeah.
And it just comes down to basic math. You have so many people in one spot, they can only vote. You can only have so many votes to count towards the electoral college. So you only get so many delegates. So if you have too many people in one spot over here that are worth 12 votes, but you have everybody else around that are worth 15 votes. It seems like it's disproportional, but
right.
it isn't. But I think we should get rid of the whole all or nothing thing. It was just the whole thing about the all or nothing was just to make it so that they could cheat, basically.
My actually bigger gripe is the the Republicans don't even have this. The super delegates that the fucking Democrats have in their fucking primary. That shit is fucking bullshit. And I know part of me hates it. I mean, it's right is right and wrong is wrong, but Bernie Sanders won so many states that he lost. Like, well, I remember West Virginia, he won every single county. And there was one county where Hillary came in third because some local guy ran and ended up being second. and she still won the election. She still won the state by one electoral vote. It was fucking like, why even
that's the problem with the people. A lot of people don't understand like the DNC and the RNC. Those are private organizations,
right,
and their primaries and stuff like that is just basically it's the popularity contest. Who are we going to run that we think has a chance to win? Regardless on how popular they are. The Democrats, I think the Republicans have done that before.
Okay.
I want to say they did that to somebody, but I don't remember who. Oh, was it like Ron Paul? I think
wouldn't
they
be
fucked around
shocked.
with Ron Paul.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
like
shocked.
that. Yeah, I think back in the day they fucked around with Ron Paul like that too, where they took away a bunch of his delegates and gave them to probably Bush or something.
Yeah. He's more.
But yeah,
libertarian.
those are private clubs that we get to that they
Right.
allow us to participate in, and they have there's no legal structure that says that they have to go with whatever the people say.
Yeah, and in 2016 there was even like a lawsuit because people were like, well, I donated to Bernie, but if they're gonna rig it, and the judge was even like, yeah, you're right, but it's private, they can do what they want. Like even the Green Party, no, I don't think anyone votes for Jill Stein. They just pick Jill Stein. You know what I mean? And Libertarian Party may do the same thing. I have no idea.
No. But, have you not seen a Libertarian primary?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, look those up. That is entertainment on another level. That is one psychopathic wacko trying to out psychopath wacko.
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
Wacko.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I just remember. Yes, I have. Believe it or not, I think I saw it on TYT way back in the day. Yes.
Yeah, Libertarian primaries are fantastic entertainment.
I just remembered that. It was fucking. I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah. I mean, I think last time around, Jill Stein was like she was trying to give her thing to Bernie Sanders. So obviously they don't vote; they just pick whoever the fuck they want, But yeah. Oh, now I want to check that out. You just reminded me. Forgot all about that. All right. Do you wanna wind it down? We're a little over an hour here, so we got our two topics.
Yeah, we got our topics in. We got a little bit of off-topic banter going. So
and Vampire Hunter.
We stayed on track this time.
Yep. And maybe we'll get some. I think Vampire Hunter called for some clips a little while ago. I was like, we'll eventually have some clips on there. What we've been doing is picking first two shows. We picked one or two. I think like two topics each show. We talk about them. This time we did a way better job of the chats and staying on topic. We only went off a couple times, but we're even. Not the Stuttering John, I believe, is supposed to be doing political shows next week. If he does, just stay tuned. We might cover those. We might snipe them live. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, we're definitely do have to talk about to see when John's gonna be coming on and what we're going to do with it. If we want to, as if we want to snipe it, or maybe just go ahead and snipe it, and then maybe grab clips that we could talk more in depth with later or something. Like, I don't know, but I'm excited.
Yep. Thank you, everyone that showed up. We appreciate it. Anyone that comes, we're not talking to ourselves, and that's all that matters. And even if we were, well, hopefully people would see you later. Liquid Cryptid, thank you. Appreciate you showing up.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna hit the outro. If I can do. Oh my God, what am I doing?
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, peace. I'll keep talking.
Have a great Sunday night.
There we go. All right. Thanks, guys. Peace.
Dabbleverse stuff, mumbling, pineapple stuff, dabbling, controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. NICK mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air, cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jones and for your fix of that dabble politics mix. So where the fudge you at, punk? Shut the fudge up and back the front up while we we fudge this track up. On your black jump, on your black jump, on your black jump, on your black jump, on your black jump. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, back out, every looking for the ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you gotta vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time, so you better get some better views and get fame up on your dime. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabblers blasting out the political shit, the back and forth shit, put bounce in the dabble pit.